Good day, viewers. Welcome to the Big Blue Bandito channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different again. It's a little, like I said, this channel is kind of intended to cover a variety of topics. A lot of them being my own personal interests, and honestly, I just enjoy. I'm trying to get started making some content here, and I'm honing my editing skills, video skills, whatever you call it. As you know, some of my first videos don't have a lot of music or fancy stuff. It's just starting out, so bear with me, and we'll go on this journey together. But today's video is something I really intended to do when I built this little contraption you see behind me. I meant to do this years ago. I do have photos and short video clips of kind of the construction process, but in a way I thought that it's kind of just as important to see if my project has stood the test of time, and I can confirm it definitely has. The pool you see behind me here is a 24-foot above ground pool, primarily built by myself with some help from my dad and my family at the time, but as you may know, I am a single parent and navigating that journey as well. So a lot of big changes in the last few years, but I'm the one here left with this little massive pool behind me, and I'm trying to maintain it as best I can and get as much use out of it. But what I want to do is kind of just go around the pool, maybe look at the equipment as well, and for some of you that are maybe looking to build a pool or purchase and hire somebody to construct it for you, I can kind of share my experience and insight to some of the hurdles I encountered as I worked on this project. And thankfully it all came together really well. There's been minor issues, it's primarily been just the maintenance, so I've been fortunate in that regard. But yeah, let's flip the camera around and kind of walk around the pool, and we'll land at the equipment corner and we can talk about that. And I'll probably expand further on some of the maintenance that I do on an ongoing basis. But to be honest, once you have it up and running, and if you take care of it and clean it often, I've found it to be minimal throughout the year. So that's been good too. So anyways, let's flip it around and get started. Thanks. Okay. So like I said, this is a 24-foot above ground pool. And you'll see I've got a little bit of gravel here, crusher dust, an extra foot beyond the diameter all the way around. And I used a 13-foot double 2x4 kind of with rebar in the center as a pivot point to spray my initial line on the turf, and I'm kind of glad I did that. It turned out very well, and you get a very concise, clear boundary with your pool. And each of these pillars will have a small patio stone, and Jazzy's in my way here, but she likes to be part of the fun regularly. My advice is, if you can, and I intended to do this throughout the season, but I try and keep the debris off of these stones away from this ground rail. And even as far as, for the first couple of years this was clear, but this, if you can keep the debris out of here, and just, I don't know, my opinion is the cleaner you can maintain that, you just, you don't have the moisture build up, the debris sitting on that inside track. I don't know what the chances of failure are on a piece like that, but I don't know, to me it's just common sense to try and keep those areas clear. What do we have here? This is, like I said, 24 foot above ground. We're looking at about 50,000 liters of water. So over the winter, you're draining it, bringing the water level down to about half, and that's freezing over the winter. And then in spring, you're filling the pool up to the skimmer level. And I personally get a service company to come out and do the startup. I just feel that with the equipment purchased, and I don't know, it's a good record to have as far as warranty, that you use the same people to service your startup and equipment if needed. think that's a good record of maintenance anyways. So on the skimmer, they recommend, I guess, the water level right now is ideal. It's in between the screws on the vertical on the skimmer face. And I'll just, you know, one of the things in this yard is I did have quite a few towering poplar trees at the back. I've taken them all down and I'm grateful for that. If you have a lot of trees around your pool, you are likely going to be dealing with leaf debris on the surface, some of the seedlings that show up in spring. And actually, the cover I have is summer cover here. I haven't put it on this year, and actually the reason for that is they only last, I'd say I got about 3 years out of this one. And what happens is the sun eventually kind of breaks down the material, and you're going to lose these air bubbles are going to flake off. And so what happens is you get a lot of the, see there one, just they flake off, and that's going to end up in your pool water. So I opted to just leave this cover off for this particular season. I'm going to purchase a new one for the following season. And I did notice quite a difference in the heating cost if you're using that cover regularly. Like overnight when the temperature drops, you're going to maintain your pool temperature a little more consistently. Now, so one of the first things I do when I come out, or if it's been a windy day, I'm just checking. You want to check your skimmer. So here we have our skimmer. A little bit of leaf debris in the bottom, nothing serious. I'll leave it for now. But often you can even hear if there are quite a bit of leaves or buildup in there. You'll hear a restriction in the pump flow, and it's kind of an indication to make sure you look at it. Ideally, I don't know, I think if you kind of get to know the patterns and the weather, and I don't know, I try and check it once a day, sometimes twice, just make sure that's cleared out. And we move over to the equipment here. This worked out very well. It's in very close proximity to the pool. As you can see, I'll just kind of go to these lines. This is your return jet to the pool. This is your skimmer, which is drawing water flow from the pump, and it is just under the ground slightly on a straight run here to this point. We have one shutoff valve at the pump here, and here's the primary pump. It's drawing the water in, going through our filtration system here, our sound filter. And my understanding from watching some other pool channels is, you know, there'll be a typical 7 pounds of pressure differential is when you want to do the backwash function. And just to kind of explain that too, I mean, you can tell if you've got a good flow coming out of your return jet into the pool. You can just test it with the hand just to see how hard that water flow is coming out. And if it's dwindled off, you'll know that the first thing you want to look at is your skimmer clean, and then the basket on the screen on the pump is the second spot you want to check. And then from there, if that's still a low pressure situation, chances are you're ready for a backwash on the sand filter. From there, we work our way back. Water flow is going through the pool heater, and this is a millivolt heater by Hayward, I believe. I'm not sure the exact model, but it has actually been really, really good for this equipment. And then the chlorinator, we've got, I think you can put about 12 concentrated chlorine pucks maximum in this unit, and you just want to be careful when you're removing that lid. Have a mask or eye protection on it. I have got a whiff of concentrated chlorine, and it's not a fun thing to experience. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of run through the equipment here, and I'll make another video of me doing some maintenance as far as the backwash function and laying the hose, connecting the hose here. It's a lay flat hose, and I just run it out to the back alley. You know, you're only running that process for about 2 minutes, so Yeah, that's what else can I tell you? I mean, I guess this is kind of the, like I said, the video going backwards. I just wanted to show you the finished product, you know, confirm that I've had success using it for a few seasons. Everything's holding up well, and even the liner, I think they say you know, I can't remember the average lifespan on a liner, but I have not had any leaks at all on this. And I think the biggest contributing factor to that durability is for my base, I have crusher dust tamped, and that's very level, obviously. But then on top of that crusher dust level, I purchased 1/2-inch styrofoam from here, in my case it was Home Depot, and actually cut it for the entire diameter of this pool. So it's nice on the feet when you're in the pool using it. You're not getting fine particles of rock or whatever. You're not feeling that through the liner. It's almost like you're in it in-ground pool. So I definitely want to show pictures on that, because that, I think, was the best, one of the best decisions I made as I was building this. So, but anyways, that is a recap of this pool. And like I said, I'll get some other videos up once I work through my photos and videos from 2-3 years ago. But there it is. Thanks for tuning in. Again, I'm covering a lot of content, a lot of topics, but maintenance of this one is of interest to me, and I think it could be beneficial to you guys as well, from somebody that's kind of worked through it and maintained it over the years. So if you have any questions or want me to look at any specific topics, please leave a comment below. And other than that, I'd appreciate if you could give me a like on this video, and if you're interested, tune in and subscribe to more. Hope to hear from you guys, and have a good day.